Hey, man, do you have a Yamaha golf cart and you're trying to figure out how to troubleshoot it and nobody on the YouTube shows you? Well, guess what? You're on the right channel now. The first thing we're going to do, Yamaha Drive doesn't run. And I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot it and show you what each voltage should show. And I'm going to give you an explanation of how it works. I might cut it down into two parts depending on how long it is. I noticed some of my other videos are pretty long with lithium, and I'm trying to keep them between 8 and 10 minutes. All right, let's get to it. First thing you want to do, you want to check battery voltage, as always. And what you want to do, put your black lead on the main negative and your red lead on the main positive. So you take your voltmeter, put it on both DC. Always remember rule number one, man. I know I say this in every video, but this is a major factor of troubleshooting your golf cart. All right, so I'm gonna take my black lead, I'm gonna stick it inside my negative. So I'm gonna take it and stick it inside my wire. So what I'm gonna do is take it, I'm just gonna stick it right there, because all we need is make a little contact. I'm gonna take my red lead and put on my main positive. Now you can see now these are all my batteries. Main negative's here, main positive is here. All right, you can see the main voltage, 51.3 volt. Hit the gas. If you hit the gas, if it doesn't drop below 40, probably 41 volts, then you know you're good to go. All right, so then what we're going to do, we're going to troubleshoot the controller. And what I'm going to do there, but before we do that, though, let's check the toe switch. You got your toe switch here, all right? Your toe switch goes inside of there. I pulled it out. You notice you have a red wire and a red and yellow. Now what it does, your red wire comes from the main positive, and it feeds here on the red wire. So when I touch, I got all these tests I'm telling you will be on the black will be on the main negative until I tell you otherwise. So then I'm gonna touch my red lead of my meter to the pin that the red wire, if you look, you see a little piece of pin there. I'm gonna touch it at that. And you can see here, get a good reading on it. You can see I have battery voltage. All right, so that tells me my main connection and my fuse, there's an inline fuse between here and the main positive is good. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my other side here, which is your red and yellow wire. Now, after this here, I'm gonna show you how to do this test without having to do this. I'm touching the other side of my toe switch, and you can see I have voltage. I'm gonna put it in tow. And you can see in tow, I'm touching it, and I have no voltage. So I'm gonna take it and put it in run. Now, if you check this, and you're actually in the run position, like this here, and you have no voltage on the red and yellow wire, replace your toe switch as long as you have voltage on the red wire. If you don't have voltage on the red wire, check your inline fuse. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my controller, and I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot the harness. That way you can tell exactly what's wrong. Slide this over, something like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the controller for some of these tests here, because some of these tests you don't even have to have the controller harness plugged in. All right. But if you look at the controller harness, I wish they wouldn't do it like this. If you look at it, see how they got the plug? Well, that is your 13 through 26. All right, you would think it'd be 1 through 13, but it ain't. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push the tab in on my harness. Push it in right here where my thumb is. And I'm gonna pull it out. All right, so now that I have my harness out, we're gonna do some tests. All right, do a bunch of tests with the harness unplugged, which is good, man, because you don't have to have it plugged in, nothing like that. The first test we're going to do, if you look at the harness, right here. Where's it at? Right here. All right. This right here. That's all right. I told you wrong, man. This is the top, so I told you wrong on that. If you look at it, number one's nothing. Number two is your gray pin. Now, number two is going to be your negative coming from your charging port. First thing you want to check. All right, let's see. We're going to take. I'm just going to keep my red lead here, and just move my black lead to my main negative. I mean my main positive. So I'm going to go to 2. 1, 2. Stick it in there, and then I'm going to move my red lead, my black lead, and my meter to the main positive. All right. And you can see I had no voltage. All right, let me show you again. You can see I have no voltage on that wire with a red lead on the main positive. So this is my black, this is negative voltage. But if I take the charger and plug it in, I'm plugging the charger in, and you can see I have battery voltage. All right. So that right there tells you that if you have battery voltage with the black lead with the red lead on the positive of the battery and the black lead inside that plug, if you have battery voltage, that tells you that your charging receptacle is bad, or you have your charger plugged in. So now what we're going to do is test pin number 12 and pin number 13. Now the key doesn't have to be on, or the key doesn't have to be off. All right. As long as you have it in the run position, you'll have voltage on these wires here, because this is off your toe switch. Now the toe switch feeds the key switch. It feeds the solenoid over here, the hot post on the solenoid. We'll get at that later on. So if you don't have no voltage here with it in tow, your toe switch is bad, or your fuse is bad off your main positive to the toe switch. So what I put it in the toe position. Let's see if voltage dies down. And you can see in the toe position, you have no voltage there. So if you have no voltage there, check your toe switch. If you don't have voltage, check your toe switch. If you do, your toe switch is good. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to check pin number 9, pin number 10, which is white and yellow. All right, number white. White's going to be your forward position, and you can see I'm in forward. I'm gonna take it and put it in neutral. You can see the voltage dies down. I'm gonna put it in reverse. Nothing. Back and forward, I have battery voltage. All right. If you don't have battery voltage there, check your forward and reverse switch or the wire going to it and coming to it. So now I'm gonna go to the yellow wire, which is pin number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pin number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm gonna put it in reverse. You can see I have voltage in reverse. If you don't have voltage there, check your input going to it. Or if you don't have voltage, or if it has voltage in reverse and forward, replace it. Now, if you notice that you don't have, normally the way it works, if you have voltage in forward but not reverse, it's normally the switch is bad. But if you have no voltage on both the white and yellow wire, which is forward and reverse, it's normally a wire issue going to it. But normally, if you don't have voltage there, you won't have no voltage on these two wires here. All right. We're going to test pin number 5, which is the blue wire. So I'm going to go down here to the harness. And you can't see it because that plug's in the way there. But I'm going to show you, look right there. Pin number 5, 1, 2, 3, it's going to be a blue wire. And what that is, that's input to your throttle sensor. I have that, which is the blue wire. And you can see I have 5 volts, which is the output to the throttle sensor. So then what I'm gonna do is take it and stick it in pin number 7, which is your orange wire. That is the return from your throttle sensor. So I'm gonna stick it inside there. And I have it inside there, and you can see as I hit, I'm gonna put it in neutral. Well, actually, I'm gonna turn. Well, I gotta have it in gear. You see right now I have the key off. All right. And this is with the key off. I'm going to take the blue wire you've seen has 5 volts. And the orange wire, which is returned from the throttle sensor, has 0 to 5 as I hit the gas. You can see it. I'm half going down with the throttle, going down with the throttle. You can see voltage, 0 to 5 volts. So that tells me my throttle sensor is good. Now the key does not have to be on for that. You just have to have the controller plugged into it. Then we're going to do the pin number 11, which is the brown wire, which is the input from your pedal switch. So I'm going to take it and stick it in my brown wire. Now for this here, the key has to be on. All right. Turn the key on. I'm hitting the gas. And you can see there when I hit the gas, I have battery voltage with the key on. All right. So that really tells you your micro switch is good. If you don't have no voltage on the brown wire, then you know the micro switch is bad and the floorboard will replace it. So we've already tested our throttle sensor, our key switch, pretty much everything the car needs to run. Well, let me tell you one more thing. The red and white wire here is going to be your key switch. Now you can see there I have battery voltage. I'm going to turn the key off. And you see battery voltage goes away. So right there we've tested the key switch, toe switch, forward and reverse switch, charger anti-lockout, throttle sensor, and the accelerator pedal. Now if all of them work good, then that tells you that the golf cart should run because all your safety sensors are working. Now if you have one of them that don't show voltage, your golf cart won't run, the solenoid won't engage. All right. So the way any controller works on any golf cart, you have to have voltage from any sensor, from every sensor there is. So now I'm going to show you how to test the output on the controller. You have your A2 here, you have your positive. This is your positive going in. I'm set it on it. Then you have negative going in, so you should have battery voltage here. All right. Let me turn the key on. Got to turn the key on to get battery voltage. All right. And you have to hit the gas to get battery voltage. So what I'm going to do is hit the gas. All right. When you turn the key on, the solenoid engages. And when I hit the gas, I have voltage. All right. So when I hit the gas, the solenoid engages, carries voltage from this side of the solenoid to this side of the solenoid. All right. Therefore, that's why you show voltage on the controller as the solenoid engages. You have voltage on the red and white wire on the solenoid the whole time, positive. All right. If you don't, check your wiring. Toe switch, wiring, fuse. Now the black wire becomes negative when you hit the gas. All your other sensors and toe switches and everything show voltage, and that black wire is not becoming a ground when you hit the gas. Replace the controller. All right. Now, if you look here, I'm put voltage right here. All right. So right now my solenoid is not engaged. All right. But you can see I have voltage here, but it's just bleed over voltage. So don't think nothing by it. Now, it should zero out all the way down to 0. If it don't, that means your solenoid is shorted. The car will shut down. But eventually it will die out. Now, if it goes down to about 10, that's just static voltage. Ignore it. But this red wire right here is the one I was telling you about that feeds the whole harness power. So make sure that's not broken, not like that. So now what we're going to do is test the output on the controller. Put my red lead here. Black lead on the negative here to make sure I have voltage when I hit the gas. And you can see voltage is still dying down on the solenoid. When I hit the gas, you can see I have battery voltage. Now, the farther I go down with it, the more of a draw I'm putting on the battery. That's why you see it die down. But I should have negative voltage out of here. And this is your A1 on the controller. All right. Now, if you don't have no voltage here when you hit the gas, your controller is bad. But at the same time, your solenoid must click as well. All right. So what I'm going to do is give you a recap on here. All right. Solenoid power here feeds the toe switch. All right. From there, it leaves the toe switch in the run position, goes to your solenoid, goes to your key switch, and your controller feeds the logic side of the controller to power it up. And then when you turn the key on, it lets the controller know that, hey, the key's on, wake up. All right. So once you turn the key on and wake it up, that's like you in the morning drinking a cup of coffee. When you wake up, then you have to hit the throttle sensor, which is like you got to get up and you got to start moving in the morning. All right. Once you start moving, the farther you go down with the gas, or the farther you walk, the closer you get to work. Same thing with this. When you hit the gas, the farther you go down with the gas pedal, the faster you go. All right. If you don't have no throttle sensor, or if you do your throttle sensor test and the voltage is higher than what it showed at the beginning, the golf cart shuts down for high pedal disable. All right. But all right, man, I hope that helped you out, man. Always remember to watch my other videos. I have more videos, and I'll show you how to do them. But watch my other videos, man. I have more of them, about 400 troubleshooting videos. This is the first Yamaha I have in a long time. But it's all good, man. We got it. All right, man, stay tuned, man. I'll post some more.